Farmer Brian. My name is Brian Ndou. I'm a farmer. Before coming to this space, I was doing the retrofit in the energy efficiency space. That's where the need for one to come to farming came about. But how I landed at farming, I needed something that is sustainable. I needed to be productive on my side. I went into the agro-processing part where we're doing essential oils. We did not have a farm of our own. That's where the challenge was. We had to go and harvest the Kalahari melon in farms where they had it. We also had to go and harvest the Tagetes mintas and process it. Then attempted to get land in Limpopo, partnered with a community out there. There was a cooperative that was registered in that space. We went to the chief. They showed us 100-hectare land. We had an offtake with one of these big brands for tomatoes. We managed to plant about 15 hectares of tomatoes. We had even planted a hectare of sweet potato in the area, having located the vines and all that. Then I started looking for another land. For about between August and December 2020, we were knocking in the city of Johannesburg to look for land because we knew they were having this kind of land. And that's how we arrived here. We came, they showed us the land in December, and we started doing our test of produce somewhere around March. We tested a number of produce until we landed where we are. Everyone who comes into this piece of land, you are given a 1 hectare. That's what the city is. Even in our lease, because they've leased us the land, they give you a 1 hectare. It's in that 1 hectare where if you are showcasing or you are able to produce more, that they will be able to add more land. Like as we speak now, we have managed to move from that just 1 hectare. We are now at 4 to 5 hectares of land where we are producing. And we have also, instead of just producing at a small scale, where you are only producing just this number, we are even able to scale up to plant just the whole full hectare with just a single crop, which is something that we were not able to do in our first and second year. But now in our third to fourth year, when we're going to the third, fourth year, we are certain now it's possible to produce at full scale. From the first week of October, the tractor has not been working. There is a piece of land that we were meant to prepare to plant the sweet potato. We are doing it manually as we speak. We had to hire people to clean it, and we are plowing it. Thank God we managed to also get support last year from CEDA. They gave us 2 rotovators. If the land is clean, we are able to get into that space, plow it quickly. That's what is helping us. But if the land is just too much big grass or the weeds are too much, you need a tractor to walk past, come with a dirt and clean, and then thereafter you will be able to come with a rotavator to soften the soil. And once the soil is softened with the rotavator, we are able to soften it as we are planting at the same time. That's what some of this equipment does. We also have a small seeder, a planter that we can walk behind it. It helps us particularly with some of these root crops, like your beetroot, your carrots, like the turnips that I referred to that we had planted. You can just put it's got 4 rows. You can plant alongside that the 4 rows at the same time, just behind the rotavator. That is some of the equipment that one will need. There's a walk behind tractor now. Even if it's not this big tractor, that's one of the tractors that we are looking forward to have, because if we can have that, part of the challenge with the smallholder farmers, if you do not have the equipment, you always miss planting at the right time of the season. A smallholder farmer is everything. He's a producer of these crops, he's a financial manager, he's a marketer, It's almost everything. That's what a smallholder farmer is. Now, what becomes a challenge is you can be able to produce like what we are able to do here in the farm. There's nothing that we have purpose to produce that we cannot produce. But whatever we produce, we still need to get it to the market. Now, you need to either have people behind you that when you are going out to solicit market with the retailers, with some of these big institutions, they will be working the farm. They will be producing behind you because you have left the production, you have gone out to look for the market. Sustainable, reliable market, it's what will make smallholder farmers grow faster. Reliable, sustainable market, it's what a smallholder farmer requires so that he is able to produce, he or she is able to produce. That's what Standard Fresh Produce is faced with. We are good at what we do best, producing the various kind of vegetables that we had purpose to produce. But we are caught in that space where we need to go out and look for those that will need our produce. The coming of eFama to us as Standard Fresh Produce is a relief because instead of having sleepless night when the produce are ready for harvesting to think of where and who is going to be buying, we know we'll be able to get the buyers through eFama to come through on board because we'll be able to tell them in advance to say our produce will be harvesting our beetroot on the second week of December. How many kgs or how many tons are you looking for? When they place the orders, then we know on this day we are harvesting for this buyer, on this day we are harvesting for this buyer, and these are the quantities that they are looking for. We are even able to scale up the harvesting capacity if they need more than what we currently have. That is where eFama comes in. It helps us, it relieves us of the headache of looking for the market. Knowledge is a tool that enables anyone to do what you will do best. And the thing for me, I think like I said earlier on, that being a scientist, it enabled me to be able to go into the agro-processing space with ease because all the mechanics behind the processing of melon seed into oil were already within the boundary of my studies. I knew that. The mechanics of processing the targeti into oil, it was part of what I have studied. It was easy for me to do that. Most of our produce we're doing in an open field. And the open field and seasons are not friends. When winter comes, we always suffer the slow production there. And what becomes a challenge is that you are not able to meet the production or sometimes some of what your market requires, your customers requires in terms of production, because you will not be able to, there will be not much growth that you require. That is one area where we need, if we can be able to cover some, even if it's a hectare or so, with greenhouse tunnels, that will enable us to produce all year round. The other piece that is critical alongside the greenhouse tunnel will be the shade net. There will still be this cold that you require outside of the greenhouse tunnel. The shade net, when it's cold, even if the cold comes and whatever, the good thing about the net is that when that cold comes and it gets trapped on your net, when it lands on the ground, it does no longer land as cold. It lands as water because it will be able to defrost, and then it comes inside the tunnel as water rather than as that freezing cold or as some of this frost. Yeah. Now the other element, we have a building that is currently, it's meant to be a packaging facility. It's not complete. That hold our hands in terms of packaging. That hold our hands in terms of processing, because currently some of our produce we are processing them manually. We will need to have the processing equipment, the cutting machine that cuts our spinach, to make sure that when you get it, you don't have to cut it. You know, in urban areas like Gauteng, those professionals, when they come home, the reason why they are not eating healthy is because they have limited time to prepare their vegetables. And the reason why some are opting to go to fast food is because they are not finding the fresh vegetables ready to either to be eaten as salads or to be put into the pot. Now, that some of the processing equipment we dearly need. Currently, we are processing our produce manual. If we were to get 2 or 3 industrial machines that have got different cutting blades, we'll be able to make sure we ramp up even our processing capability to a higher level. The packaging facility, it just needs to be refurbished. The refurbishment, the floor just need to be tiled or make sure it's conducive it's as part of the food safety. The wall, bringing the water inside. There is a provision for cold storage to be fitted inside there. If they were to be fitted, we are sure all our produce will not even have to waste anything. Will not have to throw anything. We'll be able to have maximum use of what we are producing for us.